Northside Storm Team.
Welcome back, everyone, here on your Tuesday afternoon, and we're really getting ready for what's to come here. We are weather aware in case you're just joining us. And Victoria, kind of talk about how the temperatures are going to play a role in all this.
Yes, we're going to see some warm temperatures this afternoon, Lexi, getting into the low 80s. And so we've got a lot of thunderstorm fuel, which we don't always see.
Okay.
Now, essentially what that means is that those storms are going to be able to develop as they move into this area where we have a little more instability and conditions are just more ripe to see those thunderstorms really start to grow. Right now over West Knoxville, we've got a few breaks of sunshine out there, and that's never really good news when we're dealing with a severe weather threat because that sunshine warms up the atmosphere and then that can prompt those thunderstorms. Another thing to note about today's forecast is that it's a little different from the past couple days because we do have a cold front approaching, and that front is going to give us some lift. It's going to really help those thunderstorms to build this afternoon and tonight, which is why our severe weather risk is elevated. Temperatures already sitting in the upper 70s. 79 in Maryville, 78 in Knoxville, and 77 currently in Scott County. Storm Tracker 6 radar has been fairly quiet locally. We've seen at least a few passing showers earlier this morning, but right now we're pretty quiet in East Tennessee. What I'm watching, though, is this line of thunderstorms that's already developing back into portions of Kentucky. This line of storms is going to drop in from the north and west and then proceed to move throughout our entire area. Looking ahead towards late today into tonight, our severe weather risk remains elevated. The Storm Prediction Center has us under a level 3 out of 5 risk for the Northern Valley, portions of southeast Kentucky, and also areas closer towards the Tri-Cities. The rest of us is going to be under that level 2 out of 5 risk for severe storms. In addition to this, the Storm Prediction Center mentioning that they're likely going to have to issue at least some sort of watch as the afternoon gets closer because they are expecting some of those stronger thunderstorms to develop. Looks like this may be a severe thunderstorm watch and not a tornado watch. But that doesn't mean that a few isolated tornadoes are not going to be possible later this afternoon and especially tonight. Let's talk about those risks. Our biggest concern is going to be wind damage. That's in that medium to high category, and that's because we may deal with winds gusting 60 miles per hour or greater, which could bring down some trees and power lines. In addition, heavy rainfall is to be expected as that line moves through. Should move through fairly fast, which generally is going to keep our flooding risk to being a little more localized, but still something to watch out for. Our hail threat is also in that low to medium category. I'm expecting to see some small to moderate sized hail, but isolated cells over southeast Kentucky may be able to produce some larger sized hail. In addition, that tornado risk also in the low to medium category, and that's because as this line moves through, a couple of those storms may break off from the main line and then become what we call supercells. That is just a fancy way of saying that the thunderstorm is going to be rotating. That doesn't always spawn a tornado, but of course supercells have that potential. I want to give you a look at our timing. I'm expecting these storms to arrive over the plateau between about 5 to 7 p.m. tonight, then move through the valley areas closer to 6 to 8 p.m., and then portions of the Smokies between about 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So really an evening system, although you may deal with a few thunderstorms ahead of that main line that could also be on the stronger side. You do want to have multiple ways to receive your weather alerts today. Download our free weather app, as that's going to be the best way to get those alerts sent directly to your phone. As we play the timeline forecast forward really quickly here, you can see over at 6 p.m. over the plateau, that line is approaching, and then some very heavy rain and strong gusty to damaging winds to deal with as that line moves through the valley. We're up to 82 degrees this afternoon, staying weather aware tonight with a 60% rain chance. Tomorrow is much drier and less humid for your Wednesday. The 7-day forecast shows another opportunity for some rain and thunderstorms Friday night into Saturday.